Hopefully you watched our previous video about the internal loading of nutrients and particularly phosphorus that exists in the chain of lakes. If you haven't already, you probably should, or this video might not make much sense. Today, we're going to explore how phosphorus stored in sediment can be released back into the water column and support growth of more plants and algae, as well as some of the other negative effects that this has on our waterway. The simplest way phosphorus re-enters the water column is from the sediment at the bottom of the lake to be physically disturbed, which can happen in many ways. Boat traffic, especially in shallow areas, is a key contributor to sediment disturbance in the chain of lakes. Invasive species like carp are also notorious for stirring up sediment. Mechanical dredging also stirs up a lot of sediment. The other way phosphorus re-enters the water column is when conditions within the water change. Changing conditions such as the lake's temperature or turbidity vary with the seasons and with the life cycle of plants and animals. When plants or algae die or are killed, they sink to the bottom of the lake as organic matter that has phosphorus bound up within it. This organic material serves as food for invertebrates or microbes. As the microbes eat and reproduce, they consume dissolved oxygen in the water. If there's enough organic matter, they will continue to multiply and use up the dissolved oxygen until almost all the dissolved oxygen in the lower levels of the lake are consumed. When dissolved oxygen falls below 2 milligrams a liter, the lower water column becomes anoxic, meaning that there is little to no oxygen available. When the lower depths of the lake become anoxic, phosphorus that was previously bound in the sediment can be released back into the water column. What happens next depends largely on when that phosphorus is reintroduced. If aquatic plants have been killed earlier in the season due to herbicide use, phosphorus is often released during the warmer conditions of midsummer. At that point, fewer aquatic plants remain to compete for nutrients, and warm water favors algal growth. Unlike aquatic plants, algae have a very short life cycle. They grow rapidly, die quickly, and decompose, releasing their nutrients back into the water where they can fuel yet another round of growth. This creates multiple cycles of growth, decay, and phosphorus recycling while also adding more organic material to the lake bottom, gradually increasing the sediment accumulation over time. If conditions are right, especially as water temperatures rise, the dominant algae may be blue-green algae, also known as cyanobacteria. These organisms can form harmful algal blooms and can produce toxins threatening aquatic life, pets, and people. In a matter of days, a once clear lake can become covered in a thick, slimy green layer. By contrast, when aquatic plants die naturally in the fall, they still contribute to internal loading, but only after serving an important role throughout the growing season. Healthy aquatic plant communities provide habitat and food for wildlife, stabilize sediments, and filter nutrients from the water, and help maintain water clarity. Unfortunately, the effects of anoxia extend far beyond algae growth. As dissolved oxygen levels decline, organisms living near the bottom of the lake begin to suffocate and die, adding even more organic matter for bacteria to decompose, which reinforces the cycle of oxygen depletion. In severe cases, anoxic conditions can spread upward through the water column, leading to widespread fish kills. This cycling of phosphorus slowly begins to fill our lakes with sediment in a process known as eutrophication. The rate at which sediment accumulates in our lakes increases as internal phosphorus loading builds up. This is why some portions of our lakes and channels are no longer navigable. They are suffering from extreme eutrophication. The unfortunate truth is that lakes are absorbers. While some nutrients pass through the system, contributing to problems downstream, many of these nutrients stick around as internal loading. That means most of these nutrients entering the lakes are here to stay. Even if we are somehow able to fully prevent any more nutrients from entering the watershed, this problem won't go away on its own. We have to take an active role in removing nutrients in the chain of lakes. But that will have to be the subject of our next video. Thank you for sticking around with me to the end of this video. Internal loading is an incredibly complicated process with terrible consequences for the health of the waterways. And as always, if you like what we do, please feel free to visit our website and to learn more about opportunities to volunteer or donate to the Fox Waterway Agency. Any help would be greatly appreciated. I hope to see you all in the next video where I'll be discussing the many options we have available to us for preventing and removing these nutrients filling up our waterways. Thanks, everyone.